So if you've changed your offer, your CRM, your niche, your content strategy, or your mentor more than twice in the last 90 days, then I'm going to tell you something that you're not going to really like. You think that you've been productive like that. You think that you're being productive, but you're actually destroying your business. And the craziest part is you don't see it even happening yet. So every time you start over, every time you tweak your entire system, you pivot because something felt off. And then you reset all your momentum back to zero. That new tool that you bought, that new strategy that you switched to, that new mentor that you just signed up with, you're not building on top of anything. You're just restarting the same 30D loop every single time again and again and again and again and again. And so it feels like progress because it's exciting, right? It feels like momentum because it's new. But in reality, this is just chaos disguised as hard work. Gym owners do this, coaches do this. Hell, I even did this, and it cost me years. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why your constant pivoting, your shiny objects, is silently killing your business and what actually happens when you stick to one system long enough for it to print. So let's start with the truth nobody wants to admit. Chaos sometimes feels productive, but it's actually just comfortable failure. So this is because nobody in the business, pretty much any business, will say it, but everybody lives it. Chaos just feels productive, right? So it feels like you're doing something. It feels like you're building whatever it is. It feels like you're moving in the right direction. But switching CRMs might feel productive. Rebuilding your offer might feel productive. Hiring a new mentor might feel productive. Restarting your funnels might feel productive. But it's not. Chaos is just comfortable failure with really good brains. So you're not really moving forward. You're just staying busy enough to avoid facing the real issue, is that you haven't committed to a system long enough for it to actually work and compound. Now, gym owners do this all the time. They'll run a challenge for 2 weeks and then pivot, or 6 weeks and then pivot. They'll hire a new ad guys more times than they change underwear and quit after 30. They'll switch CRMs, realize that they don't use any of the features, and then switch again and realize that it's too expensive. They'll copy a competitor's offer and then abandon it when it's not perfect or don't understand why it's not working for them. They'll keep rebuilding the same sales flow instead of mastering one, and they call all of this working on the business. But it's not. It's working on your dopamine. Now, unfortunately, the irony is the coach's version of this is even worse. They're going to change their niche every 10 seconds or 10 days or 10 weeks. They change their content strategy every single week. They redesign their entire program monthly. They switch mentors or courses constantly, which credit to investing into yourself, but you're not doing anything with that. You quit your offer the second the views dip, and you jump onto the next trend hoping this one's it to get virality, and you call this finding alignment. But it's not. It's avoiding discipline while feeling productive. So people think chaos creates momentum, but here's the real reason chaos feels good to you and everyone. Chaos feels like you're too busy to feel like you're failing, right? You're always pivoting. You never have to face your KPIs, your data. You never have to face the metaphorical scoreboard. You never have to face the truth, which is your system didn't fail, or the fact that your system didn't fail. You just didn't stick to it long enough. So chaos protects your ego. Discipline exposes it, and that's why chaos is the default behavior for struggling gyms and stuck coaches. So here's the part that stings. Here's the parts that stings. Every pivot has a price, every restart has a cost, and every switch resets your momentum back to zero. You're not stacking progress, you're racing it. You're not compounding it, you're canceling. You're not building a business, you're maintaining a hobby with really, really good excuses. So if chaos feels like progress and dopamine keeps you from restarting all the time, then what's the actual pattern causing this? So I'm going to show you the shiny object loop that you're stuck in if you have watched this video, and why it destroys your business every single day. And you're not alone. It damages a lot of it. Okay. So let's break down the loop that you've been stuck in, because every shiny object syndrome isn't random. It's very predictable and it follows a pattern. And once you see it, you're not going to be able to unsee it. So your revenue's flat, your views are down, your leads flow has slowed, right? So your team feels lost, you feel overwhelmed, or you're bored. And then you mistake this for the feeling of, something's wrong with my business, my strategy. So then your brain does what it always does when it's uncomfortable. It searches for novelty. So now you have a new CRM, mentor, funnel, you do a different niche, offer, content strategy, a new guarantee that some random guy on YouTube said that would fix everything for you. Chances are he's just an 18-year-old who's never run a business, right? And when you start imagining the future of yourself using this new thing, you then feel motivated again. You feel alive again. You feel productive again. But you haven't actually done anything. You just have gotten high on potential because you hit the dopamine. So this is where the damage happens. And I'm not mad at you, okay? But a gym owner, they'll tear down their entire CRM, their funnels, they'll change their whole offer, their pricing, their whole flows with their team, their onboarding, reset their KPIs. And a coach does this too. They'll do like their entire program, reinvent their niche, redo their content, chasing algorithm tricks, their Stripe stuff, buy a new fancy automation. Everything that was already working or close to now just gets thrown out. And so this is the business equivalent of deleting your whole training cycle every single Monday because you don't like the program or it doesn't feel good enough. So after 1 to 3 weeks, your CRM feels overwhelming. Your new coach, mentor thing requires, I don't know, actual work or effort to get it to work. Your new offer takes time to test because it doesn't happen overnight. The new funnel doesn't have momentum yet because you haven't tested the offer. The new strategy doesn't give you instantaneous results. It's not Amazon Prime. So now what do? You then blame yourself. You assume that you made the wrong choice. It's not because you did, but it's now because the dopamine wore off and because you have confused boredom with misalignment. So then you tell yourself, okay, now I need a better tool. I need to switch my niche. The CRM sucks. It's too complicated. It's too expensive. This mentor wasn't what I expected. And once again, you reset your business back to zero. You restart this cycle. You erase the compounding effect. You sabotage all your momentum, and worst of all, unfortunately, you call this progress. And so this is why you're stuck at 10 to 30K a month if you're a gym, or you're between 5 to 10K a month if you're a coach, right? It's not because of lack of leads or because of location or because of the algorithm. And I don't know why this animation isn't working, but it's because that you restart the business every 30 to 60 days. And that's what this is. This is shiny object is your bottleneck. Chaos is the bottleneck. Loop is the bottleneck. This is the moment that you need to realize what you're doing isn't wrong. It's that you're not sticking with anything long enough to actually do it right. So if chaos feels productive and the shiny object loop keeps resetting your progress, then how do you actually break out of it? So why do some gyms and coaches who scale to 50, 70, 100K a month stop getting seduced by all these shiny new tools and tactics? It's because they do one thing differently. They literally build one freaking system and run it long enough to print a lot of freaking money. So when you commit to one system, everything starts to compound. Every script gets tighter. Lead flow becomes predictable. Your objections become easier to handle because you know what's coming. Every retention pathway strengthens because you know what's happened. Every weekly rhythm becomes smoother. Every month stacks on the previous one because you have data and you know what's happening. Every hole becomes fixable because you've gone through it instead of restarting. So execution becomes your edge, not excitement. But because here's the truth, your business doesn't need more ideas, okay? It needs more repetitions of the right executed idea. So for gyms that scale, they didn't find a better offer most of the time, like 1 out of 1,000,000. Okay. They perfected one. They didn't rebuild their sales process every single month. They ran one script until it closed at a minimum of 50%. They didn't jump CRMs. They learned how to master the one that they already had, as long as they're on one that's actually good and doesn't suck. And they didn't chase challenges every week. They built one acquisition system and channel and repeated it until it printed whatever they're reoccurring that they want every single month. Systems reward repetition. Chaos rewards novelty. And novelty, unfortunately, will bankrupt your business. And then coaches, okay? So those who scale didn't get their niche through 27 different pivots. They chose one and they built the authority to dominate. They didn't redo their offer every single week or every 2 weeks. They learned how to sell the same offer consistently. They didn't restart content every single Monday hoping for virality. They stayed visible long enough for the algorithm and SEO to start trusting them and their audience to trust them. They didn't buy 12 mentorships. They implemented the one that aligned with them, their business, and their back end. And they didn't rebuild funnels monthly. They fixed the leaks in the one that they already had. So they traded chaos for clarity, and clarity always prints. So every time you switch strategies, you restart the compounding effects. Gym owners lose years doing this, and coaches lose hundreds of thousands of dollars in income doing it. And the worst part is you think you're still making progress, but in the reality, you are unfortunately erasing it. So if there's anything you're going to take away from this video, here's the mantra that will completely change your business. One offer, one system, one backend, run it for a minimum of 90 days before you earn the right to pivot, ideally 180 days. And that's it. No, it's not sexy. No, it's not dopamine heavy. No, it's not, I'm going to post on Instagram, it's a meme worthy. But this is how every single freaking biz, every single freaking gym hits 50 to 100K a month. And it's how coaches hit 20 plus 50K a month. And it's how you watching this are going to stop destroying your business. Okay, so if chaos is killing your business and one system is how you scale, so then I believe or assume the next question would be obvious. What system? What does one backend actually look like? So let me show you exactly what needs to exist inside your business. It is the core infrastructure that replaces all of this nonsensical chaos with consistency. Consistency prints. All right. So If chaos is killing your business, what does a real system actually look like? It's a repeatable system and a machine that moves your business forward even when you feel off, even when you want to take a vacation, even when shit happens, life happens. Your offer has to be outcome based, time defined, priced properly within reason, framed with value, and simple enough to pitch in 60 seconds, aka an elevator. And if your offer changes every single month, you're not optimizing anything. You don't have the data to back this up. You're just restarting. So one offer equals clarity. One offer equals position. One offer equals predictable sales. Okay, so now this is where the shiny object syndrome destroys people the absolute fast. So gyms and coaches, they're going to try ads, no ads, DM scripts, organic referrals, TikTok funnels, challenges, Facebook groups, emails, newsletters, everything else. But they're going to do it all at once, or they'll switch weekly. Right. So then one pipeline executed consistently will outperform 10 of these new ideas executed inconsistent. Gyms, if you want to use meta lead form funnels, that's fine. 21, 28-day outcome program, long-term nurture to show, to close sequence coaches, just do content, coaches to do content, to message them, to a mini VSL, to call, to book, right? It's one system. It's implemented very deeply, not 9 implemented half-ass or halfway. So your sales system must be consistent across everything. It's a structured console with some type of emotional anchor when you have the problem, the consequence, the possibility framing. You have a clear value stack. You have 3 option pricing so you can drop down. You have objection loops. You close with confidence. You follow an SOP. You have a follow-up SOP or a nurturing system. And you have your KPIs for show rate and close rate. If your script changes every single week, your sales outcome will too. Operators master the script. They don't need a script. Amateurs reinvent it or copy it word for word. Now, one backend, okay? This is where we live. This is why this is where we live. This is why we even exist. Okay, so your OS must control your automations, your stages, tour flow, consult flow, pricing deck, objection bank, renewal scripts, all of this stuff. And I don't know why the animation is working, but who cares? Okay, your KPIs, the proof capture, all of this stuff. This is the thing that successful gyms and coaches actually have. This is what everyone else keeps rebuilding from scratch every 30 days. And it's because shiny objects distract them from actually finishing. So you're going to need pipeline management, some type of weekly team alignment, especially if you're a gym, definitely a monthly operating review, especially if you're a gym, quarterly strategy, not weekly, especially if you're a gym. You have some type of proof collection built in. You have SOPs updated consistently and automated. You have accountability. Execution is not sexy. Execution is not dopamine. Execution is not exciting, but execution is the only thing that makes a business freaking grow. Your business does not need variety. Your business needs an operating system. And once you have this set up, you stop pivoting, you stop second guessing, you stop craving novelty, switching tools, you stop restarting, you stop burning money, you stop losing momentum, because chaos dies when you install structure. And shiny object syndrome disappears the moment one system becomes non-negotiable. We build this entire backend for you, not with some mindset fluff or motivation or a course, not accountability. A fully installed, properly operating system. So your pipeline, your consults, your pricing deck, your offer, your follow-up, your nurturing, your CRM, your retention, your automations, basically every single thing we went over in this video and another 100,000, everything that you keep restarting, we build once correctly so you never restart again. So you don't need more ideas. You need a real finality, a real final operating. So if you're done restarting your business every 30, if you're done burning money on shiny objects and wasting a ton on ads, and you want one backend system that actually scales, then click the link below so we could audit your current chaos, show you your exact bottleneck, and tell you if we can install our OS for you. Stick with one system or keep destroying your business. Stick with one system or keep destroying your business pretending chaos is progress. Hope to talk to you soon. And if you like this video and you don't want to talk to us soon, then click the video on the screen because YouTube thinks you'll like that.